Hi guys, Romeo Hertz here today to give you another chapter of Naruto 633 review. Um, so this was a really I don't really have any complaints with this chapter. Um, yeah, it was a very good chapter of Naruto. There were a few gripes and I think some. I'm not sure if missed opportunities are the right word, but I'll go into that. So right off the bat, we start off with Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura. She's in the background again. And Naruto and Sasuke are sizing each other, comparing sizes. Um, because you got to remember, the last time they saw each other's abilities, true abilities, new abilities, was in their fight in part one. Because when they met again, the only thing that happened was Sasuke used the Chidori and Naruto used the Rasengan, but that was stuff they already knew. So now they're seeing each other. Naruto sees that Sasuke has a new Sharingan, whatever that means. We don't really know. Well, anyway, it's not much different from his MS, really. He's just using Enton more. Um, but he's also using the Black Flames, the Amaterasu, which Naruto didn't know he had. I think he might have suspected, or he might have got some data from Kakashi. And Sasuke sees Naruto in his full Nine Tails form, and you can tell they're looking at each other because they know, they know that okay, you know, I've got to keep track of this guy because we're gonna have to come to blows at some point. Um, so, and it's also interesting to notice that Minato um, recognizes that because remember last chapter, Naruto he used his Rasen Shuriken, which before in Minato's time he didn't have that ability. But this is really confusing because if you remember during the fight with Nagato, the Six Paths of Pain, and Naruto, when Naruto's just about to open the nine gates, Minato comes up and he says that I've seen everything you've been doing so far. I know what you've been doing. I know how you got to this stage. And it's like, well, what the like? And then he disappears and goes off. But it's like, well, is that Minato and the Minato who's been reborn different people? Because it seems like he's not aware of the changes of Naruto. It's like this is the first time he's seen the Rasen Shuriken. And it's like, well, surely if that part of your soul that was in Naruto, that part of your chakra that was in Naruto, was part of you, and once it was sent off to the afterlife, well, yeah, that gets confusing now that I think about it. It wouldn't go to the uh yeah, because he's inside the Death Guard. It would go to the pure world, but Minato's inside the Death Guard, so he gets revived and goes straight to, yeah, maybe that part of his, no, I'm sure that part of his soul would have come back during the impure world resurrection, and he would have got that information like a Kagebushin. Um, so that's a bit weird, but it's a small thing, but it's just looking really at the mechanics of the world, and I think it's a bit of a plot hole, but it's not one I'm going to be crying all over. Next is you see Team 8, finally, oh man, stepping the game up, like Cerberus, Kiba, he makes a Kagebushin, and he has 3 heads, and that somehow increases his destructibility from his 2. I don't really see how. It would be different if if there was like a Gate of Rashomon that Sakon and Yukon summoned when he fought them, and he cuts through it with these 3 heads, because I really can't tell. I mean, how powerful that actually is. Shino has these bugs that can grow very quickly once it inhabits something's body, but it's tough on his body to have them, probably because they want to grow so quickly, but he has to keep them contained. So what happens is these bugs go into an enemy's body, and then they start popping out, like bursting out and coming out, and out of this Jubi Spawn's chest and his arms. And I can understand why Kishimoto wouldn't use that ability this far until this point in the series, because it on any human character it would be rather gory, but Shino is a pretty dark character when I think about his abilities. And Hinata finally uses the 64 palms, which I'm pretty sure is something she can do already in the anime. So I've been desensitized to the 64 palms thing, and she already had her own ability in the anime, this kind of dome string thing. It was pretty cool. It was better than the 64 palms thing, because can Neji do 128 palms? Or anyway, yeah. And then she summons these kind of lion chakra fists, and she's planning to use that in conjunction with her 64 palms. I just want to say that these things that Team 8 have been doing, they should have been doing at the start of Part 2. Really. I mean, a 2-year time skip. And it's only now you're beginning to see it. I mean, the 2-year time skip happened around a bit before chapter 200. And that was that was over 5 years ago, even more. And it's like, okay, for almost half a decade now, we've been waiting for them to step up, and it's only now they step up. I am really angry about that, and the problem isn't the fact that they stepped up, it's the level at which they stepped up to, in that it's like, well, these really are the abilities you should have started off with in Part 2 and then got better. And then, I don't know, I just like Kiba Cerberus thing, it's only one step up from his two-headed dog technique, which he used at the end of Part 1. So are you telling me it took him 2/3 of this series just to get up one level? And then Shino's bugs, I mean, yeah, they're impressive, but still, man, you know what I mean? It's like, it's only like the bugs only grow, like, that's not unimpressive, but it's just like, it's not impressive enough considering how all the other characters have developed. Hinata was the worst. I mean, 64 palms now? Like, apparently this is the first time she uses it. And it's like, what? Really? Like, I remember, I think her father was Hayashi, and he said something about her, you know, being a failure because she was weak and useless. And I gotta admit, I can't argue with that statement anymore, because seriously, only 64 palms, and it's like 64 palms. I don't even know how that works against the Jubi Spawn now that I think about it. Do they even have a chakra circuitry system? Because aren't they just pure? Because didn't the Kyuubi say that the Jubi's not chakra, it's just pure natural energy? So how does it work against them? I don't understand that. But I'm just disappointed, because it's like, well, this is something she should have done. She should have had the 64 palms down at the start of Part 2. She should have had that down. She had 2 years. She should have had that down. And she doesn't, and it's just really annoying. It's like, whoa, man, like, seriously? Only now? So that's bad. Um, that's insufficient character development on Kishimoto's part. Very insufficient. Um, so it. I mean, I don't have much investment in Teammate, but still, I'd have preferred him not to develop them, to be honest, because it's just like, unless if he ups them even more, we still got the rest of the water fight, but if he ups them even more, then okay, I won't have a problem. But right now, very very mishandled character development. So moving on into the Ino Shiko Cho yo-yo thing. Now I don't really like the concept, but I do like the mechanics and that they're all linked together. So they share the same reactions and the same senses, while using the same abilities in a way. Um, it's like an amalgamation of their abilities, and I really like how the mechanics of it work. I don't like the fact that it's this yo-yo thing. I mean, maybe it's because of the word yo-yo. It it just makes it seem a bit childish, which is something I should look over, but I just can't help it. I wish it was. It's not uncreative. It's just, I I yeah. I'm just not feeling it. It's just my opinion. I'm just not feeling it. And then we get onto the last part, which is where Sai tries to get involved, and he gets shut down. I'm not going to shit on Sai because, unlike Sakura, he's proved himself time and time and time again in the short. I wouldn't say short. In the time he's been with Team Seven, um, he's proven way more useful than Sakura. True, he hasn't really taken out a main villain, but Sakura had Aldachio to help her. You know what I mean? So that doesn't really, you know. But Sai's really, throughout this series, he's really been a productive team member. So even though he got shut down, he's way more useful than Sakura. Um, and he just got overconfident, just a mistake. So I'm not gonna. And he was really thinking about how best to maneuver around he, the obstacle that the Jubi spawn were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that just meant they were harder and harder to deal with because their weak spots were just getting encompassed by their mass. Um, and Sai pretty much starts analyzing the situation, saying, we need to either fall back, get in some medic ninjas here because it's going to be a war of attrition, or he's really analyzing it. But the others, Hashirama is like trying to push them back, but he recognizes that their size is getting a bit ridiculous now. So I think he was planning to step his game up, but Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura do not a shadow clone, a summoning technique, and like I don't know the chapter number, but I think it's called the Three Sages, the Sanin. But like the Sanin, they summon the snake, the massive snake, the massive frog, and the massive slug, Katsuya Gamabutta, and this massive snake. We don't know who this massive snake is. I wish it was Kabuto's Manda too, because that was a badass snake, really. But I actually have a few gripes with even this. I know. The main gripe is that look, I've shit on Sakura enough. I recognise that I don't like Sakura. I recognise that I'm a bit mean and biased and negative to almost anything she does, but I mean, I shouldn't really complain about this because everyone complained about this with Sasuke when, during the fight with Deidara, Sasuke somehow summons Manda, even though it takes a lot of chakra to do, and he was almost out of chakra. He only had like this much left, and he summoned the Manda, and it's like, what? It just like, how? And here I'm not sure what's going on with Sakura's chakra reserves, to be honest. This must be killing her reserves. I don't understand what's going on. Um, and I don't understand why she summoned Katsuya, because Katsuya isn't even an offensive. She's got poison. She's got erosive abilities, I think. Yeah, she has this erosive poison, I suppose, but she's not really an offensive type. Um, I'm perfectly fine with Naruto summoning Gamabunta. Gamabunta's a pretty badass frog, to be fair. I do have a big issue with Sasuke using snakes, and that it feels like he's reverted back to his time before his ascension above Orochimaru's power. I felt that when he was using the Hawks, which I was so annoyed when he was using the Hawks, that was like his own step, his own deviation into his own power. The snake power is Orochimaru's. The Hawk power, I mean, it's stated that to understand what your summoned creature is, you just have to try the summoning ability without a contract seal, and you'll be transported to the area where the animals of your of the contract that's connected to your, I don't know, your chakra is. So for Orochimaru it's snakes, but for Sasuke, after he got rid of Orochimaru's power, it was hawks. So I'm kind of peeved a little that I didn't see a massive hawk. Oh man, I want to see a massive hawk. I really, or a massive eagle or something. Oh, a massive eagle, motherfucker. That would have been insane. Oh, it's just a disappointment because I felt that it would have been Sasuke, not Sasuke a sign that Sasuke's pushed beyond the power of the Sannin, the power of Orochimaru, the power of the snakes, and he's making his own power, his own claim in the world, by moving on to this hawk. And there's a lot of symbology with the fact that he had moved from a snake to a hawk. I think there's the Japanese symbology, something to do with the word Toby, which is something to do with Toby. I think so. Anyway, so what was this chapter? How does it rate? I give this a banana milkshake out of 10 because it was good. It was good. I didn't really have any problems, but it was really good. It was really good. There was some gripes, but they were really more opinion based. There weren't really problems. There was this one, I think it's a plot hole with Minato. It's not a big one. The fact that Team 8 really should have had this development a long time ago. And if this is the limit of their power, I'm extremely disappointed. I don't know what's going on with Rock Lee and Tenten, but who gives a shit about Tenten? She's got a good character design, I'll give her that. But so yeah, it was really good. That was Romeo Hertz. And until next week, guys, I'll see you later.